Hey everybody, Kyle here. Before we start the show, I just wanted to make a quick plug for a music fest happening this weekend. And I know this weekend is South by Southwest, so it's going to be a crazy time for music fest in general. But we were specifically approached for this music fest. The music fest is called Yeast by Sweet Beast. It's a experimental music fest. So if you're into crazy experimental music like I am, I'm totally a fan of bands like Flying Lotus, Flaming Lips, and The Office Project, and Black Moss Super Rainbow. Huge list. I like this kind of stuff, and I was approached by the fest organizer, Anne Heller, who was a delight to meet whenever I saw her concert recently. We got along really well. And she has this music fest called Yeast by Sweet Beast. This is its 18th year since it began. And it's a 3-day fest featuring bands from all around the U.S. to celebrate more out there musical styles. The shows are from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I personally will be there for at least the Saturday show, and they are on Facebook. If you just search for Yeast by Sweet Beast, each day has its own unique event page. Just click interested and see where it's at. And maybe I'll see you there.
Welcome to Everyday Superhumans, the podcast to restore your faith in humanity. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Kyle. And as usual, we have our third and silent guest, Nugget, here with us tonight as she's munching on her toy and trying to play with me right now.
Well, she heard you speak of her.
That's what happened.
She's only being a well-trained dog.
She's like Beetlejuice. Say her name too many times and she'll appear. This is a really interesting week that I'm in right now.
Because it's the week after I Live Here, I Give Here.
Yes, and the week before South by Southwest. Two big things that basically make Austin to Austinites and outsiders alike.
Which one do you like better?
Of course, Amplify Austin from I Live Here, I Give Here.
Well,
South by Southwest has some good shows, but I mean, I live here in Austin now, so I could complain about the traffic that comes with it. There's no traffic with Amplify Austin.
Did you hear the mayor said we should all work from home on Friday?
No, but sounds terrific.
Yeah.
Wait, the mayor?
Yes.
He's technically my boss.
Well, you should check that out.
Yeah, I need to get in touch with his office and say, hey, can city employees also take that day off or at least work from home?
Yeah. But you know what? People in Austin are so good at giving. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that because a lot of people are coming in this weekend, but we also just have a lot of good people here to start with, and they give their hearts out. For
those of you who may not know, Amplify Austin is the biggest day of giving in Austin, Texas. And it's ran through the nonprofit I Live Here, I Give Here, which is mostly a fundraising nonprofit for other nonprofits. They do fundraisers like The Big Give and Amplify Austin. And as of recently,
Giving Tuesday.
Giving Tuesday. Yeah, thanks for finding that for me. I forgot what it was.
Well, we usually air our episodes on Tuesday.
It's true, because of that. We're recording at 8:50 at night. I've worked 9 hours today. I'm a bit tired.
And Nugget is attacking you.
Trying to attack me right
with
now.
The ball.
Yeah.
But we spoke with two really awesome ladies of I Live Here, I Give Here.
They are Catherine and Christine. Catherine is the Director of Communications of I Live Here, I Give Here. And Christine is the manager at nonprofits and customer relations. So we had the PR person on the donor side and the PR person on the nonprofit side. That with their combined efforts, combined with the other part of the team, since there's seven of them. Since there's
only seven people, and they give what?
They raised over $10 million this year.
Yeah. I mean, what are we doing?
I know, seriously. So how did I Live Here, I Give Here begin?
Yeah, so 10 years ago, our founder, Patsy Woods Martin, kind of realized that Austin was not giving at the same rate of many other cities. We were the top 10 best places to live or most eco-friendly city, but when it comes to giving, we weren't doing really very well. So she actually brought a ton of nonprofit organizations and community leaders together to try to come up with an idea of what could solve that problem. And what happened happened was I Live Here, I Give Here was created. So for our first 5 years, we were really a marketing campaign all focused on getting young people to give back in the Austin area. And then we created Amplify Austin Day, which kind of took over and really helped connect young donors to giving back.
I agree. It just really resonated with the community and became a movement that has continued to give over the past 5 years and continued to grow.
Yeah, that kind of really surprises me because whenever we came here, at least the nonprofit community seemed to be thriving. Everybody was like doing well off with their causes. Before this all, were you saying that the nonprofit scene wasn't really that healthy?
Yeah. And I mean, even now, so in Austin, people are giving 2.67% of their income, and nationally, people are actually giving 4.2. So we are really good at volunteering and giving our time here. But in Austin, I think that cash donation, that funding of operations of nonprofits is still something that, that's why we're still around. And that's still something that we're trying to make sure that Austin is doing well.
I think it's important too to remember that Austin's a really young community and it's growing all the time, and that a lot of these people are moving in to join the technology movement here in Austin and to be a part of this new corporate business, but haven't necessarily resonated with the causes here or, gone out to meet them. So we like to think of ourselves as like the first step to realizing what your cause is and finding your passion.
And a lot of people don't see the needs of this community. They don't know that 1 in 4 kids in Austin is living below the poverty line. They see kind of the trail and all of the amazing things, but not the needs that growing housing needs, and that seniors are not insured, all of these things. So that's something that we really focus on, is making sure people know that there are needs in this community and then helping connect them to giving cash and sometimes time.
Yes.
Was it always I live here, I give here?
Okay. Where'd the name come from? Just
I think our board and our founder.
I mean, it's very literal.
It's very
We
straightforward.
love our brand name.
Yeah.
It's a great mission statement.
I mean, I've heard so many people have reached out and just said, I love this because it states exactly what I'm wanting to do and why I'm making a donation. And I've heard from donors, they're like, I love that the name this I Live Here, I Give Here, because that's exactly what I want. I want to support local. I want to help the people. I want to help my neighbors who are down the street or in our community. I want to stand up for what's here.
one thing you just said about supporting local, that's kind of true. Like when I was like with the Austin culture in general, is that people that live here really love the culture here in Austin. Like I find it weird walking to a Walmart now. Like to me, like HEB is a way to go if I want to get any kind of groceries. Local is like the Austin DNA.
We've seen donations across the world. You know, Australia is donating, Canada, Alaska, Europe, donations from everywhere.
I didn't even think about worldwide.
Yeah.
I just thought about Austin bubble.
Absolutely. Well, so it starts with the Austin bubble. We have these people who, individuals and families and groups that raise funds for nonprofits on Amplify Austin Day, and they're asking their networks to give. So it starts with the Austin bubble, and people share their story and they share their cause and why it matters to them. And then their friends and families, no matter where they live, are standing up to say, I support you and I support that you're giving local and that these are the nonprofits you engage with, and we're here to help. It's really cool.
So how did you two get involved?
I've been here working and I live here, I live here for 3 years, but I moved to Austin a little bit before, and I was really looking to do something that would impact the whole community. I came from working at an art museum, and I really wanted to get involved in something that could touch everyone. The arts can be a little more insular, and being involved in a community-wide campaign that also worked with so many different cause areas was really exciting to me.
So I actually started at the Big Give San Antonio as an intern, and that's their giving day in San Antonio. When I was going to school down there, one of my professors suggested it. I was actually a history major, and I had just done an internship at a museum in their donor relations. And it was so exciting to be a part of a movement that was bringing the community together around something good. And so when I moved to Austin, I wanted to really be a part of that again. And I didn't realize when I started here how amazing this community was and how much they were willing to give back. And the nonprofits here are just really fantastic to work with. Everyone is just so giving of their time and so kind. And yeah, it was kind of a dream come true for anyone who just graduated to get their dream job on accident. It was amazing.
That's great. How big's the team at Live Here, Give Here?
We're a team of 7.
Wow. and you raise $1 million for Amplify?
We're raising $10 million this year on Amplify
Even
Austin
more.
Day.
Yes.
It's crazy.
But yeah, we're a small team. The Austin Statesman called us small but mighty, but we really liked that.
Like, if any startup made $10 million with only 7 people, they are well off. That is ridiculous.
Yes.
And like every nonprofit I follow on Facebook has an event going on that day for raising money for
How
it.
do you choose which one?
No.
I started like saying like I'll attend like every single one.
Well,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh no.
Just
Where do I go?
nonprofit hop,
Yeah, exactly. Nonprofit.
like the
hub.
new thing.
Like they did that startup crawl as like a nonprofit
Yes.
crawl, so I thought that would be
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
That would be cool.
that'd be a really good idea doing South by or like the week after or before South by maybe.
Actually, in Bastrop, they're doing something like that.
Really?
They have a kickoff event for all the Bastrop nonprofits, but we haven't found a way to get all 700
In one
organizations
area?
in one
That'd
spot,
be
other than online.
Yeah.
Because again, small staff.
So you do a lot
but-
for a small stuff.
And part of it too is we don't want the nonprofits to have to host an event. What's great about an online campaign like Amplify Austin Day is we're taking a lot of that work off of their plates. So instead of hosting one big event during a single day, they can just focus on the online part and talk with their donors about it and talk about their brand and their mission, which is really fun and exciting.
One thing I like about Amplify Austin is it kind of serves as like a liaison for marketing for these people. Because like not everybody could have a full-time marketer to work with them. Marketing is hard, and as like I've learned trying to promote a podcast for 2 years, it's really hard to promote anything on social media. It's a battleground out there. So like have like one central day about this whole thing, and you put in like a lot of the work. You take off a huge weight in the marketing department, which allows them to spend less on like advertising and stuff like that.
Exactly.
We agree, and it's amazing. I think it's because it's such a community-wide event too. All of the local media outlets actually support the day and do in-kind advertising and just really prioritize coverage. So I think, if each, like you said, if each nonprofit was trying to do that on their own, when we come together, it's just such a stronger impact. And I think also it's easier on the media, so they aren't getting 700 asks all at once.
All the time. But I mean, it's also a year-round resource, which a lot of people don't realize is that you can make a donation to these organizations on Amplify any day of the year. It's available 365, any hour, any day. It's there to look for organizations with volunteer opportunities. A lot of them post their events too, so you can go and see what events are happening near you. We also do Giving Tuesday in November, so you can participate with Giving Tuesday as well on Amplify. So like you said, it's definitely just a list of places where you can find your cause and start connecting.
And watch a bunch of videos and help just kind of dig in, because I think too, when you're new to a city or just new to giving, having some place where you can go and kind of shop for your nonprofit.
Shop for your cause.
Yeah. It's like it's a catalog.
Yeah, it's
for
a catalog.
good causes.
You
I
can
like
search
that.
by mission category or, office location. So if you want someone who's like, if you live in Bastrop and you're looking for Bastrop organizations, you can find them there and specify.
Or if you want like specifically to give school supplies to kids, I think we have 4 to 5 organizations that are doing that in different ways. So
Any animals? Like
Lots
you were
of-
mentioning all of the
Yes.
different animals.
pigs, bats, tortoises.
There's horses. There's also so many dog rescue organizations
there are.
just by type too. So if you're really passionate about helping dachshunds, we have a dachshund
It's a
rescue.
dachshund rescue?
There's a dachshund rescue.
I knew
absolutely.
about the pit bull one since we did Lovable
There-
on the previous episode.
Yes,
There's
Lovable's
a
great.
Yeah,
boxer. one
boxer.
also too.
Yeah.
Greyhound.
Yeah.
And then we also have animal orgs that help humans, like the guide dogs and service dogs. And actually, a lot of the horse groups, most of them are therapeutic ranches.
Healing with Horses
Yeah.
is all about, helping people with disabilities, heal through relationships with horses.
Minis and friends.
Minis and
Oh,
Friends is
they were so
fantastic.
good.
Oh my gosh.
That's one of our
was so
previous
cute.
episodes.
They come visit us sometime, like once a year before Amplify, and just bring a horse by and let us say hi. It's just the best day of the year. It's my favorite.
They're so sweet.
They're so great.
Don't want to show any favoritism, but they definitely are a very sweet organization.
And their name.
Yeah, amazing friends.
Who doesn't love a mini horse and a mini horse that's helping humans?
One thing I was curious about, though, since I Live I Give here is all about the local, what's the benefit of giving to local organizations versus like international?
We definitely aren't anti-donating to international orgs, and we do have a lot of organizations that are international, but we think that it's really exciting to give back in your backyard and see that impact, know that you're giving to the Trail Foundation, you're helping build a specifically part of the trail, or you're helping allow seniors in Central Texas access programming. So we think that kind of tangible giving where you live is definitely very rewarding and impactful. And I mean, we love the idea of helping out your neighbors too. Not to say international organizations aren't doing good, but
do you feature some international organizations?
We do.
We
like
do.
Whole Planet Foundation's one of our
Is
organizations.
Well Aware on your website?
Well Aware has been in the past, but they're not joining us this year. But
okay.
Like Circle of Health International, and a lot of them are locally based but doing international work. We have a few, I think, like Gilbert's Gazelles, and they're focusing on providing water in different parts of the world. So those organizations are still local, but they are doing some outreach.
So in a sense, you kind of like you provide funding for any nonprofit that's based out of the Central Texas region in that way.
As long as you provide services here or you're located here, we feature those organizations on our site.
Have the same criteria that we have. As long as you're based out of Austin, we'll talk to you. Yeah.
How does Texas compare to other states in volunteering?
Well, in terms of globally giving, I'm not so sure about volunteering necessarily, but we're pretty 61% of all online donations worldwide are preferred to be online. And then Austin is a pretty giving city, but in terms of for Amplify Austin Day, we've noticed some cool stuff with just, who gives on Amplify Austin Day. And we're seeing, millennials are 31% of our donations are from the younger population, which is really exciting that millennials are willing to lead the way and kind of bring us into the next generation of giving and new kinds of disrupting the sector. So
and I mean nationally, I don't know as much globally, but nationally 72% of giving is actually from individuals versus 5% corporate.
Really?
So it's really, you think that corporations are giving a lot, or foundations, but it's actually people and families who are really giving to those causes they love. And then I think in Austin, 27% of Austinites actually volunteer, which the national average is below that. So that's really cool. People in Austin are really giving their time back to their causes too.
People in Austin are really active too.
Everyone's willing to get their hands dirty and be a part of something. We're helping build a movement, but because of the nonprofits and the support that we've gotten from individuals and families, but also corporate, really stepped up in the past couple of years. But
a lot of local businesses supporting Amplify Austin Day. Last year, around 68 participated and gave almost $1 million, and many of them are matching in addition to that. And then this year, we already have 80 businesses signed up, with a ton of them matching. And we found that the companies are really excited to get involved in Amplify because it allows them to really empower their employees to choose their cause, as opposed to the opposite. Millennials love, obviously, giving back to where they want to give back, as opposed to having the companies, dictate where the corporate dollars are going. So
something about what she said about millennials got me really excited. I think millennials are a really cool generation, talking about how they want to give as employees, but they also want to fundraise for their cause. This generation, it's cool to have a cause. Being an advocate is really in right now, right?
It is. It definitely is.
Yeah.
So we see a lot of the people who are raising funds are millennials. Like 90% of millennials nationally have run a peer-to-peer fundraiser campaign, and 10%, the other 10% said they just hadn't been asked. So it's a really cool generation that's stepping up and giving. They're stepping up in their corporations, and they're stepping up as fundraisers. So it's been fun to watch them over the past couple of years take ownership of giving days and giving online. They're really cool.
That's why I read a study where it says that millennials aren't saving at all.
Well, it's not high rent.
They're just true. I'm going to give you and you.
And we buy a lot of avocados, right? That's
the
thing.
Avocado
coconut
toast.
water,
Coconut waters.
and exotic pets, and hot sauce.
Hot sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You gotta have a good supply of salsa and hot sauce in your fridge. If not, you're doing it wrong.
Yes.
Craft beer.
But you don't like avocados, so you're doing the millennial thing wrong.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not my go-to.
So I was actually in Denver last weekend, and when I was there, I went to a coffee shop, and they had avocado toast for $8. I was like, what? I thought that was a joke.
How many avocados can you buy with $8? Probably like 5, 6.
More than that.
Yeah, 8.
They're like, it depends on the avocado. You can
Probably
get those 44
16.
cents ones.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there's more to it than just avocados and toast, but I was like, that's ridiculous.
So just think about it. If you gave up avocado and toast 3 times a week, you could donate $25 to a nonprofit who needs your help. So
how does your nonprofit, if I was running a nonprofit, and if I want to get on your list of all the nonprofits nonprofits here in Austin. I know that they said like there's about 2,000 or saying in the Central Texas region.
Mm-hmm. There's about 2,000 organizations in Central Texas.
And you only have 700 on your website. How do you get on that list?
So you have to become an I Live Here, I Give Here nonprofit member. And so our membership is actually beyond just Amplify Austin Day. Amplify Austin Day is obviously the best benefit, increased awareness. That's really what it's all about, is getting new donors to your organization and increasing awareness about your mission. So last year we had 39% of our donations were from new donors, which is one of the biggest difficulties for nonprofits, is to find new people for their cause. And then 60% of our organization said the best part of being a part of what we do is more people knowing about their mission. So we have a whole, I can't go into the whole membership thing, but anyway, so you sign up to be a member to have certain requirements in order to be vetted, because we take that very seriously for our donors. We want donors to feel comfortable when they're giving on our site. So you have to have a 501c3. You have to be active with the Texas comptrollers, and then you have to
we have certain financial benchmarks as well.
Oh, really?
25,000 in net assets or 50,000 in annual revenue.
We love new nonprofits that are really excited about creating an organization, but we want to make sure that donors are giving to a sustainable organization that's not going to go away in a year.
But we have a waiver application process too for the organizations that don't hit those thresholds. I work with them personally and get them, talk with them and go through some documentation to make sure that they're all correct. But after that, they just create a profile and we train them. We have a whole training process for our organizations about best practices for a giving day, how to run Amplify Austin Day. Catherine does this really great social media 101 training, and then she also does advanced marketing for some organizations that have been around with us for the past 6 years. And we had Facebook on a panel, and it's kind of like a mini South by. Yeah. But they get to learn a lot of good stuff, and so we get them prepped. It's a lot of fun. After that, you just run a campaign and have a good time.
There are so many benefits that Christine has created too for our member nonprofits. Austin Public this year is filming, I think, 20 PSAs for different groups. There's office space opportunity. We try to really be a conduit for our nonprofits to just capacity building opportunities.
Yeah,
year
round. And the
Giving
site
Tuesday.
is year round. Giving Tuesday is our new program, exactly. And then we also have a board internship training. So we take individuals out in the community and invite them to come be a part of our board internship training, and we educate them on what it means to be a board member. And then those individuals, usually young professionals, then receive, it's like a 4-week training with learning what you need about financials and governance, what nonprofit's a good fit for you, whether you should be on a startup board or on a board that's been around for a while. And then we invite some of our nonprofits to come and meet these individuals looking for board service too. So that's another one of the really cool benefits. And we also do some grant opportunities, and we have a $5,000 grant and a $2,500 in it for a small organization and a large organization, and we celebrate their donor stewardship. So because 39% of your donations are new on Amplify Austin Day, how are you bringing those new donors and making them a part of your nonprofit family and part of your mission every day? So that might be too much information. I can talk about this all day.
No, it's great.
A lot.
But we try to just be that pipeline for local nonprofits and capacity opportunities. We get a lot of questions that are like, we have this amazing opportunity. We want to pair nonprofits with marketing professionals. How can we do that? And we will work with a lot of companies to give our nonprofit partners those opportunities. So
We hadn't even talked about the prizes for Amplify Austin Day. So we do hourly prizes every hour for the nonprofits. It's $1,000 for 2 organizations every hour for the most donors or the most dollars. And we award a small organization, a large organization every hour. And then we have some 5,000 grand prizes. And then we do the stretch fund, which is distributed between all the organizations, like we talked about with that Add a Dollar campaign. And that's at about $140,000 that we're going to send out to all organizations just for being a part.
So how do you monitor that all on that day? That's
our technology.
Whoa.
Yeah, the technology.
And a really awesome director of finance.
We have a great director of finance. We've actually worked with the same provider since Amplify Austin Day started, our software provider, and they come in and they help to manage the database, but it's a really robust system. And honestly, that's, a huge part of what I Live Here, I Give Here is raising funds for year round is to just ensure that that platform's even available, because a lot of people are used to just websites being there, but we have to, you know, make sure there's insurance in place, make sure that the technology is running properly on the day. So
yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize that we're a nonprofit too, so we're doing all of this so that we can make our community better, but like she said, you have to raise funds all years for that.
Do you know how many people visit your site on that day?
we do.
Do you want to reveal it? Or
Like,
just give the top secret
that's a you
information, no?
question.
Well, there's like the question of like number of visits versus, so we have around, last year we had around like 65,000 donors, unique donors, but we definitely get a lot more traffic year round. And I don't know the number off the top of my head,
that's okay.
but it's definitely spikes that day and people spend a lot of time on the site.
It's kind of addicting because if you've ever been on it for Amplify Austin Day, you're watching this ticker go up and it's going up by thousands of thousands, then millions of dollars.
Wow.
And so you just keep pressing refresh.
Yeah.
And I've been talking to our people who run these campaigns for the nonprofits, and they're like, I know I don't need to refresh because it like automatically refreshes, but I just keep pressing that button. It's just really fun. And then the nonprofits have their own goals they're trying to hit, so they're watching that number go up. And then we also have all the League of the Nonprofit leaderboards, so you can see which nonprofit is raising the most funds, and it's really addicting.
The businesses are very competitive as well.
So competitive. You should check out the business leaderboard.
They get very competitive about that number one spot.
Really?
Yeah. And they're looking for like employee engagement too. So like 100% of their employees giving on the day.
I feel like we haven't talked about what Amplify Austin Day is.
Oh, yeah.
So
You might need that.
Probably do that.
because we're all in the know.
Yeah.
Amplify Austin Day is our local day of giving here in Central Texas in Austin. It's a 24 call to action to get online and give, and it's happening March 1st and 2nd. So it starts March 1st at 6 p.m. and it ends at 6 p.m. March 2nd. And we are hoping to raise $10 million for over 700 different nonprofits, all affecting the city that we love. So
you can do it.
So from a nonprofit's point of view, whenever a new donor comes to them, what's a good way to retain those donors then?
So thanking your donors is definitely the first step in retaining them and just showing them what you do. I always recommend like inviting them to come see the services firsthand if that's available for your organization. For some organizations, you can't really show the clients, but if you have an organization like Central Texas Food Bank where they can come volunteer or they can come just check out and do a tour, sending a thank you note in the mail, a handwritten note goes so far these days.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like how many of those do you actually get in the mail anymore? But just being really authentic with your brand and your mission and welcoming people into your family and thinking about donors, even the ones that are teeny tiny, those $10, $15 donors, they end up mattering so much in the long run.
yeah.
I mean,
you never know who that $15 donor is going to end up being in 10 years and how they're going to impact your cause. So you can never discount them. I think, and inviting them to an event. A lot of times nonprofits have those. And I think really hopefully getting that in-person interaction that facilitates.
Even just inviting them to coffee, you know, and just talking about what you do and why it matters and the impact that you're making. It makes a huge difference.
Listening to your donors, I think, is a huge, because we're all so, as nonprofit professionals, we're all so excited about our cause and sharing our mission and talking about it nonstop. I know you guys are so surprised to hear that, but listening to what the donor is passionate about and why they got excited, I think is a really huge baseline and actually goes a really long way.
On weekends, we just hang out with nonprofit people. That's really all that we do.
So we work and we hang out with nonprofit people.
All these people are trying to get you to be donors too. It's like, so you want to donate?
Maybe that's why they want to hang out with us.
All right, ready for your final question?
So this is my favorite question of all time. So if I live here, I give here, it could be a superhero. It could be a made-up superhero too. Or a one that's in existence. I don't know your superhero knowledge, but
not solid.
but what superhero would it be?
Okay, I actually have my answer.
I have mine too.
Okay,
Wow,
mine's,
that's-
All right, do you want to...
do you want to go first or want me to go first?
Say it at the same time. I'm just kidding.
Well, I don't know if it relates to our mission at all, but I think Wonder Woman, we're an all-female team led by an amazing executive director and incredible board chair that's also a woman. And I think just a lot of the nonprofit sector is also made up of women. So I feel like showcasing the women power and what women do for this community. I guess Wonder Woman for that.
She always has better answers than me.
Oh, it's yours though.
My first thought was, I feel like your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man all the time.
Yeah.
Like
It's actually
I think about it all the time. Actually, it's been like going through my head. But as soon as y'all asked us, I was like, what hero would we be? But yeah, because he's always trying to help this one city. He's trying to make it better. He's trying to do good when no one else is. And he's always there as your friendly neighbor. And I kind of think of us as that way too. Just trying to
just shows up.
He just kind of just surprise, it's Aunt Flossie.
Surprise, it's time to give. You have 24 hours.
give back to the greatest city in Texas with I Live Here, I Give Here. Check out their official website at ilivehereigivehere.com to stay up to date on Austin's largest fundraisers and also all the nonprofits here in Austin. You could use I Live Here, Give Here search engine to find the Austin-based nonprofit that's right for you. You could also find them on Twitter and Instagram at ILH_IGH and on Facebook at facebook.com/amplifyatx.
Feeling bad about the world? Does the 24/7 news cycle keep you down? Never fear, Everyday Superhumans is here. Restore your faith in humanity at everydaysuperhumans.com, where you can learn all about the people making the world a better place. Don't forget to sign up for our monthly newsletter, where you can learn all about the ways you can become a superhuman today and save the world. You can also follow us on Twitter at SuperhumansCast, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/everydaysuperhumans, and check out our Instagram at everydaysuperhumans.
Have we helped restore your faith in humanity? Then be sure to rate and subscribe to Everyday Superhumans on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're feeling really generous, be sure to donate to our Patreon at patreon.com/everydaysuperhumans.
And remember, not every hero has to fly, so grab your cape and let's go.
Little cheat sheet right here. Their website's how we choose a lot of our guests.
You're welcome.